Welcome to Paranormal Pair. Took me a minute. I am Steve.
And I'm Scully.
Whoop, whoop.
And we're the alliteration.
Thanks for listening to our first episode. We've gotten great feedback already, right, Scully?
The
Wink.
best.
Okay, perfect. See, you're a pro already. Um, So this is going to be the show proper, and we're going to try to dig up some news first. And I found this article. I will link the articles in our show notes so you guys can click on it and see. But apparently, there's this object flying over Florida and over Michigan. It's the same kind of object.
Wait, let me
There,
go get my math real quick. Because, you know what? I did not memorize it. Alexa, turn the bedroom lights on. Actually, Alexa, turn Lorelai's bedroom lights on. Oh no, Alexa, you might have to delete that.
no, let's make everybody's Alexa go off. That's the goal. Alexa, subscribe to the Paranormal Pair podcast.
Stop. That
Oh
is
my God,
so.
my Alexa just went off.
Did she? Mine better subscribe right now. All right, so which states are we talking about again?
Okay, so we are talking about Florida and Michigan.
Okay, so we all know where Florida is, right
Yep,
near Georgia and Alabama. Michigan, because we are on the
that's near
East Coast,
Canada, eh?
okay? We are by the East Coast. That's all you're ever gonna get from us. And so you said Michigan. Michigan, if you're like me, where you're geographically struggling, it is near Canada, like Steven said, and I am slow. And it's also near Ohio and Indiana. Woo!
The Finger Lakes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and like, why am I? Wow. I just want to make it very clear. There is a map in my room. Well, not my room, my daughter's room, so that she never has to have this fear of not knowing what it looks like me.
Well, I did go to school for a little bit for being a travel agent, so
Oh, cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I am embarrassed, but I'll study.
it's fine. You don't study. Okay, so this thing, um,
I'm a really good studier. I color code.
it's from the Lansing State Journal.
I've
And
never heard of them.
me
Are
neither.
they like? So I also really, you know, that's a point. I've never heard of it, Lansing State Journal. So like if it's not a good reputable newspaper, let us know.
Yeah,
Let us
but
know.
this is what I found. David Osborne is the journalist. He's from the Jacksonville, Florida Times Union. So it feels like
Oh,
a
okay.
legit thing. A shape-shifting, slowly turning object hovered over above Green Cove Springs on this is Florida on
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon, leaving many to speculate about it. The morphing black object was high above just west of US 17 and south of Country Road 315 slowly heading south. It made no noise and was at least a few hundred feet off the ground. At all times, the shape was like a spacecraft, while it also looked like a turtle shell with a ball inside and white outline that almost looked like a mouth and teeth.
Oh, what the hell?
So there is a
Do
picture
you?
of it. Oh, can you see?
Yeah, I can. Do you think? I mean, do you think it could be a country just throwing up the balloon out there and seeing what we are? Like, do you think it could just be a foreign country, or do you
Like a
think
like a spy balloon?
yeah, like what? This doesn't look like,
But
I
if
mean,
it's
how big is it? I want to know how big it,
let's
yeah, is
see.
there more?
Naval Air Station Jacksonville announced recently that it would be conducting training exercises beginning Saturday, March 22nd. The facility is about 15 miles north of where the object was floating above, the Winn-Dixie and Greens Cove Springs, a few blocks west of blah, 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 blah. They advised nearby residents that there would be an increase in aircraft activity and noise. However, the object hovering above Green Cove made no noise and that could be heard from the ground.
Wow. Okay, so
So no size. It doesn't really say what the size is.
Naval Air Station in Jacksonville. You know what? Oh wait, then this is another thing I want to cover on this podcast is like naval stories about like
Oh, the water?
yeah, the water
Yeah,
and also Air Force stories. Like
yep.
I want to hear like Like they're the people they're trying to hush up, and I want to hear them.
Yep, me too.
I want to
Um,
hear them.
so this is the same object, it looks like, over Michigan as well. Interesting. I got some fun facts about Michigans and UFOs. Michigan ranks the 10th historically in UFO reports.
Wow.
You want to know what some common objects are mistaken for UFOs?
Blimps.
I have that too. Okay, so some common objects mistaken for UFOs or UAPs, as they're now called. This I can't even say the name. The Starlink satellites. If you see a line of lights, they are probably Starlink satellites.
Oh, that's reassuring because I have seen those
Okay.
even in New Hampshire when traveling.
Yeah.
So that's reassuring because I was spooked out one time. Like this brought up a core memory actually just now.
Oh, good. I'm glad I can erase that scary memory from your mind.
Yeah, right? It was
Probably
probably
just
just our
satellites.
yeah.
Venus and Jupiter. If you're seeing a very bright, intensely silver white stationary object near the horizon, it's very likely Venus and not a UFO. Jupiter may appear higher in the sky, but can also be extremely bright. Several apps are available to help you identify planets. Those apps
We
are cool.
should. Can we do a game where at like for like one fun part in the episode, like not this one, but in the future, where we
Yeah,
like try and guess the planet based off the most up-to-date colored versions of the planets so far?
we
How
can.
fun would that be? You're like thinking it's Jupiter and it's actually Mars, right?
I
Like,
I follow this lady on TikTok. And she's like a NASA like astrophysicist type lady. And the pictures that she pulled from some of these satellites is amazing. One of the TikToks today said this universe might be within a black hole.
I read that. I read that. And you know what? That to me, I'll say this. I'll say this. If you know me as a friend or a close relative, whatever, black holes are my jam.
Are they
Let me like
really?
yes, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so scared." And I'm over here like, "Did you know that time changes the
Hmm.
closer you are?" Like that is incredible. That is incredible. Like time changes, gravity, everything like it influences the way you're existing. Um I think the biggest thing is that when people think of black holes, they're like, "Oh, that's scary."
Yeah.
I'm over here like, "Let's learn more."
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
the kind of person like throw me in the black hole. I'll figure it out for us all.
once you get torn apart by it,
Yeah, and then
um,
I'm still self-aware. It's
so yeah.
that's why I'm like Interstellar was so good, and I'm like
Mhm.
that goes to show. Even then, I'm like, wow, I would have never imagined the movie going that way. And then I'm like, we are really so Neanderthals. Like we are such Neanderthals on this topic. We
So
don't know enough about it.
we're so babies compared to like the universe. We're just little specks.
Yeah, we're bugs. Like three body problem. We're bugs.
But yeah, I mean that picture of the object, I think it's small. I don't think it's like huge.
No, it looks like
But
Darth Vader had no face.
yeah, it really does.
And braces, like a
Yeah, that
headpiece.
that white headline. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't. It's not a balloon I've ever seen.
No, it looks like a baby stroller upside down.
It really. Oh, yeah, you're not
Or like a
wrong.
baby carrier.
You're not wrong, actually.
No,
Yeah.
it looks like a baby carrier. It looks like it's photoshopped or something. It does not look, but then you know what? You know what also gives me the vibes of? Wraith.
Hmm.
Wraith.
Okay.
If you do not know what a wraith is, it is like a beehive of the Star Trek field.
Yep. So yeah, take a look at the picture. What do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think it's a UFO or something the Air Force is testing, maybe?
Oh, I don't know. The thing is, I don't like to speculate without enough information, and there's definitely not enough. Like, I don't know how big it is. Like, I don't know what size it is. If it's a big size, if it's a small size, does that prove if it is a UFO that aliens are minuscule,
Hmm.
microscopic,
Could be a
you
probe.
know? And then it's like, are we microscopic? Because not even like, what was it, like 100,000 years ago? I don't know. Don't quote me. Okay. I could look it up. Don't quote me. Bugs were the size of cars. So I don't know what is big and what is small in space.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen. it's weird that they said it was morphing. That's the thing that kind of throws me. Uh,
Morphing, I didn't hear that part, and I'm glad you brought it up. Morphing,
yeah, the
like
morphing
chameleon?
like changing its shape almost.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It could be something very much because over here in the East Coast area, we had those drones that no one ever said what they were about and like what was going on with them. They just appeared, and then we were worried about them for a week, and then that was it.
You mean the Chinese balloons? Is that what it was? That it was confirmed? I don't remember.
Oh, was it confirmed? Yeah, I didn't know if it was confirmed or not. Let's see. Drones over New Jersey.
It
Oh,
is a
oh, I guess it said the White House said it was part of an FAA research project
Oh, okay.
because the government told us, so it must be accurate.
Oh no.
I don't trust the government. Sorry.
I trust Bernay.
I think it's something the Air Force is working on. I don't know if it's UFO. It definitely very well could be. Well, technically it is because it is an unidentified flying object. We don't know where it is. But is it alien in nature or is it something that we're working on?
I agree. I think it's more like maybe at home project that we
Yeah,
keep to the chest. That wouldn't surprise me. Being able to like reflect maybe certain particles, mirrors, or
yeah,
I don't know, elements, something that I'm not aware of to mimic.
yeah,
Maybe they're trying to mimic to be like invisible.
yeah. Like cloaking. Speaking of Star Trek, like a cloaking device.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be a ball. You absolutely it could be like some kind of weather balloon with something over it trying to morph it so it doesn't look like so it's trying to hide it, you know what I mean? So,
I believe that we do tamper with the weather. Like I do believe that.
how do you really?
I think we've even proved it. I think we have been able, I mean, people can make snow.
Yeah.
I do think we can tamper with it. And this year we got like the weather felt normal and that felt weird. You know?
Well, we didn't get a lot of snow this year where we are. We usually get way more snow.
Right. And like the thing is when I was a child, I remember getting like 5, 10 inches and constant snow days. And now it's like if I see a snow day, like wow.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, that's something we could look into too, if you wanted to. That's definitely a conspiracy theory that we can look into.
Yeah, I
But
don't know how much I believe just because it's out of curiosity and like,
yeah,
I do believe that like there's heating and cooling periods, right?
right.
Where like, yeah, healing and cooling periods on Earth.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I got you. Go into everything with an open mind and scientifically prove or disprove it. That's the goal in science, and that's a good guidepost for the rest of us.
Yeah, I agree. I try and live like every aspect as whether it's true to science as we know it.
Right.
That's how
Um,
I try.
some big news that recently happened, and this is going to be our main topic. And Scully is doesn't know fully the scope of this, but the JFK conspiracy theories. So recently, some JFK files got released by the government. This is a BBC article from Jake Horton and Cheyenne. I'm gonna butcher that last name, so I'm not even gonna try. Cyan Sadizia, I guess. I'm sorry. But it's an article that kind of went over the paperwork. So basically, all right, so you've heard the conspiracy theory of it wasn't Oswald, though. It was like a group or more than one person that is involved in this, in his
Like,
assassination.
I think I've seen like a documentary, so like yeah, just to preface, like I don't remember a lot. Like if I had learned about this, I don't remember a lot
Okay.
of it. So I really only have heard about Is it Harvey Lee Oswald?
Yes, Harvey Lee Oswald. Yep.
Yeah, I've only ever really heard about him, but like I have heard other conspiracy theories.
Okay, so a good movie you should check out, still kind of holds up. It's called JFK. It's all about this conspiracy theory. And it's an Oliver Stone film, Kevin Costner, and like a ton of big actors. But basically, what it is the government tried to tell us, if you believe it or not, that Lee Harvey Oswald shot the president um, from from a book depository building, um, right in the back of the head with three, and he took three shots. So there's a thing called the magic bullet theory, where one bullet literally went through the body, turned around midair, went back through, and just like went through his body again intact. So
What?
yeah, exactly. So
That sounds like that would be UFO related.
um, but
What aliens are doing that?
But people that day, they saw people like on a grassy knoll area. In some other areas, there were some fishy people walking around the train tracks.
Oh,
So
okay.
the conspiracy theory is either the CIA, FBI, the mob, um, because the Kennedy family made its money from selling liquor during when you weren't supposed to sell liquor, basically.
Oh, prohibition.
Yes, thank you.
Did I say
Uh,
that right?
yeah.
Everyone congratulate me because that
Oh,
was really
bootleggers.
FUV.
That's what I was thinking. They were bootleggers. But yes,
Oh,
you're right,
prohibition.
and I'm right. Um, so that's how they made their money, their fortune, and then politics, and then all that. So the mob did not like the family. The FBI and CIA and the government were trying to get into Vietnam, and Kennedy was stopping them. We had the Bay of Pigs invasion. We had um, the showdown too as well, with the nuclear, for Cuba, that whole problem. And Kennedy stopped it without using any kind of violence or any kind of warfare. He really was not wanting to go to war with anybody. But people in government thought that was not the right thing to do, and they needed to get into Vietnam and help them out, help them out. And he just wouldn't let them do it. So some people say CIA, some people say FBI, some people say it's a group effort, but there is a theory that many people took shots at him, from one area, another area, and another area. There were people standing there, watching the caravan go by, who heard multiple shots from multiple areas, as well. People saw people leaving. So there's this, that's the theory that it was more than one person in the government was maybe involved in it as well. But they pinned it on Lee Harvey Oswald. That's why that famous saying, I'm just a patsy. He didn't know he was being charged for the murder. He did kill a cop, escaping though. He went home, changed, killed the cop on the way because he saw him and he fit the description. Went to go hide in a movie theater, and that's where they caught him. Um, and then walking out before he even got his chance in court, he gets shot by a mobster called what's his name? Jack Ruby.
Oh, wow.
Live on TV, got shot.
Okay.
Bang. Um,
Yeah.
so you got the mob involved there. You got, some
And,
maybe.
and and the mob worked with the government. We know that
Yes.
at times.
Yes.
So,
So
uh,
it's a lot of weird stuff going on. And then uh the JFK movie is based on um a book by Garrison, who was this prosecutor in New Orleans, I believe. And there's also a book called, the book is called The Plot That Killed Kennedy. Um, and they went up against the Warren Commission, which was the government's commission to see what happened. And they said it was just Lee Harvey Oswald. There was no one else. So that's where that's where the magic bullet theory came. That's where
yeah.
all this kind of weird stuff came. His brain went missing. Like
What?
they weighed his brain, and then in transit somehow, it went missing.
That that is trafficking.
It's weird. So I highly recommend JFK. But anyway, so he wanted
Why? Where does that go?
so the it was rumored that the reports were like hidden away that showed the real truth. So that's what people thought these reports that were coming out was going to be. Like, oh my God, we're really gonna know what happened. There's some kind of things, but no big bombshells as they say in this article.
Right.
So one of the major things we got is more on Oswald. The documents further shed light on the CIA's strong surveillance of Oswald. He was a subject of deep interest to the CIA. He did work with the communists in Cuba, um, all that kind of stuff. Um, but there was no real big like, yes, he definitely did it. You know what I mean? There's no big kind of moment like that for him. Um, we have some intelligence methods that revealed um, the critical of the CIA and its role in shaping foreign policy. The note shows the agency's huge presence in U.S. embassies, even in allied countries such as France. So basically, this kind of note um, had way more information about how we gather that information. Um, so it was just kind of more transparency than anything. Uh,
Okay.
then we have some old theories resurrected. Some well-known online accounts claim that the recent documents reveal new details about long alleged plots against Kennedy, even though some of the supposed revelations have been public for years. They include several viral posts about Gary Underhill, who was a World War II military intelligence agency. He claimed that a cabal of CIA agents was behind the assassination. He openly published this theory in a left-wing magazine called Ramparts. And then in 1967, and that was in 1967, but his death in 1964 was ruled a suicide. But
Wait, he
that
was published after his death,
after his death,
and it was ruled a suicide, which we all know those can be like,
exactly.
yeah, that's important to know.
So
Wow.
yeah, so some
Years later.
7-page memo of the photos regarding Mr. Underhill went viral on Tuesday when this was released. But the bulk of it is not new. His story has been long discussed online. Blah 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 blah. Just a few sentences on one page of the memo were newly unredacted in the latest release. It,
Wait. They recently took off what they
one
had said
they re
originally?
they recently redact. You know how you see some black spaces over words in government documents. So those
Yeah.
those are crossed out, and to redact them, it's like you take that black off. So there was one line that was redacted,
Oh.
um, but it wasn't like substantial or anything. Um, and then are these files completely unredacted? In 1992, a law required all documents related to the assassination be released within 25 years, but the law also included national security exceptions. So to push for the greater transparency, um, that that has led to more releases over time. Both President Trump in his first term and President Biden, as recently as 2023, released batches of documents. Um, so yeah, it's just these documents came out and they were still redacted. There's still a lot of stuff redacted. Nothing really came
This
out of it.
is
But it
during
kind of
like civil times, like civil, like, unrest.
yeah, Civil War, yeah, because Kennedy was a uh big ally to Martin Luther King and Jr. and Malcolm X and wanted to reach out to that community. But things some people don't like change.
Racism's
So
gonna racism.
hmm So, you have a deeply Southern vice president who doesn't like what the president's doing with the CIA and FBI who doesn't like what the president's doing already because they're not like going after communists as hard as they think he should be going after them. And then the mob who hates him as well. That's not a good sign. And then there's the whole why is he riding in a caravan with no dome protection. There's no protection around him.
Right. And why was his casket kept closed? I just Googled that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of. I highly recommend JFK. It's a really good movie. And then there's a recently a podcast. Okay, let me know if you know who this is. He's pretty famous. I don't know if you know him though. He's a filmmaker. He's also an actor at some things. Rob Reiner. Do you know who Rob Reiner is?
Let me look, Rob
Okay.
Reiner.
Well, while you look that up, he
What
recently
is he? Okay, so he's in The Princess Bride.
he directed The Princess Bride.
I love that. Oh, Harry Met Sally. That one made
He
me sad.
directed that. Yeah.
Good. It was good. All right, let's see what else. I mean, sir, Princess Bride, like hats off to you.
Spinal
Like
Tap.
that.
He also did Spinal Tap.
Oh, and the bucket list. I don't think I've seen Spinal Tap, so I'd love to see
Okay.
that. But like, hats off to you, sir. That's like top five for anyone with good taste. Like that has to be in your top 10. Like I don't know. I don't know. I just that's my personal opinion. Top 10 at least.
So who
And
killed
I'm a
you?
90s baby. Okay.
He did a podcast called "Who Killed JFK," where they kind of dig deep into the stuff. It's very interesting. It's been a year since I've heard it, but you can still find it on your podcast apps and such. So I highly recommend that. JFK and that podcast will probably be a good back to back. Um, yeah, so you can. I know Scully does not. I almost messed up there. Do you notice? Uh, Scully doesn't know too much about this, but what just from what I've explained to you, and I'm sure I've missed a few things, but just what I've explained to you, does it seem weird?
Well, I think that like what I want, I have more questions are about it is weird, of course. And I think that what I have more questions about is like his role in the civil rights movement, the Cuban Missile Crisis,
That's what Cuban Missile Crisis was I was thinking of.
yeah, that
So
and like I think those two things are the where I have the most questions because I do think it was his beliefs.
yeah, so how he handled the Cuban Missile Crisis was a big reason why he got assassinated. A lot of people think. Speaking of movies, there's another really good movie with bad Boston accents, called 13 Days. It is a movie specifically around the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, and you know what? That was such like a high like tense, similar with the
Yeah,
Cold War, just high
yeah, it
in
started the Cold
tension.
War. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean even now it feels like a Cold War with the rest of the world. And I'm laughing because I have anxiety. Stay
Yeah,
off me.
that's what I do too. We laugh because we're scared.
I have anxiety. Like I've laughed when someone choked before, and I still tried to help them. So mind your business. You don't know me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I
So
mean,
maybe, yeah, maybe watch 13 Days first,
yeah,
JFK, and then
okay.
listen to that podcast. And they
I
really,
know that I think it's really like there's just a lot of questions like, oh, Lee Harvey Oswald died and no one,
well,
in the
Lee
in the
Harvey
casket.
Oswald is a really interesting character because he was a Russian spy. He was an American spy, some people think. He knew Russian, he knew America. He, what do you call it when you denounce America? To live in Russia. So he denounced America basically,
Oh,
denounced his
I should know
citizenship.
this.
Um,
Um, God, all right, we're gonna look it up because we really do know it.
yeah, you look it up. Now I'll keep talking. Um, yeah, so he lived in Russia. That's where his wife was from. He found his wife. He was treated well in Russia, like he was given a good apartment, like he was treated like a top person over there. Eventually,
Oh, is he
America.
acting like a refugee? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he basically denounced America. It's like I want to live as a Russian, basically.
Because like I know like he's and
And
I don't want to give anyone like I don't want to misspeak on that, but like
yeah,
some people will say that they will be murdered if they stay here, so they need to
right.
leave.
No, he was just defecting. That's what we're trying to think of. Defecting.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna cough.
That's okay. You know what
Sorry.
else that makes me think of? One of the well, I don't like to get too political, but when I think it's very fascinating that other you know what? There was one person where I do believe that it wasn't political. They were just looking out for Americans. And I don't know if this is going to put me on a list that's scary, but like what was his name? Edward?
Oh, Edwin Snow.
Yeah, yeah, like him, I think when I think of someone whistleblowing, is that what it is? Whistleblowing?
Yeah, whistleblowing. Yep.
Yeah, is that the term we were thinking of maybe? But I'm not sure. But that's what I think of when I think of people who but this doesn't sound like the case where they're like trying to share the greater good for sacrificing
No.
their comfortability.
Yeah, they want to go to war. They want to control the world, basically. But like Oswald came back to America, let him back in after
Wow.
living in Russia, and this is the top when we didn't trust Russia. Um,
I know, and now we're besties again, aren't we? I can't keep up.
and they let him. I'm not even touching that. And he let him back in, knowing fully well that his U.S. Army training and his knowledge, which he had some knowledge of some stuff, was given to the Russians. So some people think the Russians were also involved in this JFK assassination, because they let him back in, and there was no like repercussions to him. There was no.
Maybe
There
the
was
mob is international, you know what I mean?
I mean, this it was not just him. He definitely could have had the killing shot, but there was I believe there was more people on in that section. They there's YouTube videos of people trying to shoot the way he did with that particular weapon. And he was a shotman. People say he wasn't a good shot, but it turns out he was a good shot. But it's still kind of almost impossible of what he did. But I would
Right.
highly
Three
recommend.
holes with one bullet in what world and what bouncy house? Like
Yeah,
that was a joke, but like, you know what I mean? There's
yeah,
no way that that actually physically happens. I imagine it just keeps going through
yeah.
the second, if it's through him, then it's going to be through whatever's after him. Like things don't I would be curious when bullets do bounce. You know what I mean? Maybe they do. Maybe there's an instance where a bullet bounces and I'm just
Yeah, but the bullet
very gun
cracks.
illiterate and
The bullet doesn't come out fully intact. That's the problem.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
will shatter.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought that bullets do. But like also I am not a pro gun person. Like I'm gonna be clear on that. I'm
Yeah.
not someone who's gonna shoot. I've never shot a gun and that's my preference.
I've shot a gun once, and
If I'm
I
gonna
would
kill
say
someone, I'm like, I'm gonna do my bare hands, right? Like
I want to feel it.
no, not necessarily, but I'm like, if we're at that state, like
Go full ham. Might as
I
well.
can't tell if I'm at that state or if I'm also just likely to just take me out. It's fine.
So
I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
those those three movies. 13 Days is good as a primer. JFK, that podcast, really interesting. There's another movie called Ruby about Jack Ruby and his involvement, just specifically around him. Um, it's not as great as the other ones. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting theory. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the problem is that the government back then didn't think there was going to be someone filming it and they would have their own film of the situation that happened. So there's the Recruiter film. It's got some guy named I think his last name was Recruiter. Um, was filming it for like prosperity. Oh, look, the president's coming to our town. Um, and like that film eventually got shown, and people were like, well, this isn't what happened. Like, there's no way any of this happened the way you told us. So, I guess you could say it was the early days of like, having a iPhone to film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really interesting story, really interesting conspiracy. Um, I think there's nothing we can do about it now, obviously, but I think it was a little bit of everything, honestly.
I'm interested to hear your opinion on how does JFK and his assassination affect us now? Like that whole situation, how do you think it's impacted us?
Interestingly, Stephen King wrote a book about this.
Oh,
Uh,
Stephen King was the first horror. He was the first writer who gave me nightmares. Like, congratulations, sir. You hold a special place in my heart. The Long Walk. No one knows, but anyone who knows, I know you know. You
I
know what
never
I'm
heard
talking
of that.
about?
Never heard of
Richard
it.
Bachman.
No.
Okay, Stephen King writes as Richard Bachman
Yeah,
as an
that I do.
alias.
Yeah.
Ah, guys, go. blow your own minds reading this novel and then be like, how do I make my life as good as it could be? Like Stephen King, thank you. Like
Uh,
I was 13, Stephen King. Do you know I'm not 13 now. I'm like 33 almost. Like life has changed because of that book.
wow.
Yeah, so I mean it was really crazy. None needless to say, I just want to say let's go into the what you were going to say. I just
Okay.
had to like shout out
No, you're
Stephen
good.
King real quick.
Um, I love he side story about Stephen King. In real life, he's actually a dick.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Me and my girlfriend at the time. Oh, I was trying to get to be my girlfriend. She was a photographer for BC, for the BC newsletter,
Hmm.
and um, Stephen King's daughter was playing against BC, so we went to go. She went to go take pictures. Like, I'll come because I'm a puppy dog and I just want to follow you everywhere. So we went over. She was taking pictures of the game, and we noticed Stephen. I was like, "That's Stephen King." She's like, "Yes, Stephen King." And people were taking pictures of him without asking or anything. Um, and she was kind enough to go over and ask, "Hey, do you mind if I take a picture for the news the newspaper for BC?" And he literally said, "No, I don't want my picture taken." Well, every other person was taking the picture of him. I was like, "What a
That's
dick!"
hard because like I think that he has the right to consent
Of course,
and
yeah, I
you know
know, but like,
and like he could have said yes, but like he also he maybe was trying to make it not about him,
yeah, I guess so, but
you know? But like
yeah.
I understand your point of view, like you're inspired by this person and you want to document it.
How dare you be level-headed about this? We were mad at the time, and now I don't think I'm that mad anymore because of what you just
Well,
said.
no, because I think that my ther like my thank God for therapy because I feel like this is why I challenged it because like you asked, which is like so amazing that you asked because no one else did, and he probably was like, "You guys are awesome for asking," but like, no, thank you.
Yeah, but if he said that, if he was like, "Thank you for asking," but no, I would have been like, "Okay, that's totally cool."
Yeah,
But
but think
just
about being so famous and just trying to like watch your child. I don't
it's
even like being addressed by my friend's
mm,
bestie's mom. Like, just kidding. But you know what I mean? I'm like, don't look at me. Just like, let me do this in silence.
yeah, I got what you saying.
You
Anyway,
know?
Stephen
I didn't
King's
even want
book.
to be videotaped on here and you see me on my worst day. Like, so I think coming from like that perspective,
Yeah,
I I applaud you and your girlfriend at the time or
thank
the
you.
person because you know that takes a lot of guts and a lot of um good energy
Hmm.
of doing the right thing to ask that,
Yeah,
you know?
I got you.
He probably thought you guys are all decent and I don't want my picture taken. Cause like I'm the most unphotogenic person. Okay, like the most unphotogenic person. Like I think that real life does me way better than a picture ever could.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So,
Um,
you know, and that's just, and like someone, like, I remember posting a picture of like Stephen Hawking when he passed, and I posted like a really terrible one, and I don't know why. I think it was just like so quick to be like,
yeah,
hey, this is what's happened right now. He's passed. Everyone needs to like mourn him. I really admire his work, you know?
yeah.
And I think looking back, that was one of those growing moments where I was like, oh, you know what? I could have waited a moment and maybe picked a more like kind picture
Hmm.
that like better suited his image and how he wanted to be remembered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Because like there are
Um,
people too, as much as we want to like,
yeah, of course. And I would never, I mean, I now would never go, like, if someone's, okay, so here's the thing. If someone's eating or like talking to somebody or like engrossed in something, I'm not gonna bother, I'm just not gonna bother them. Um, but like, if I saw Kevin Smith in Walmart, like shopping or something, like I know he's like cool with his fans, so I'll go up to him and be like a quick thank you, and then like not ask for anything and leave. But yeah, I get it. They when I become famous, people leave me alone. Thank you. No kidding. When I, if I ever become famous, I would it would be a pain in the butt, honestly, at times. But if they're respectful of my time, if I'm like, hey, listen, like not
right,
right now, but like when on my way out, I'll be happy to take a picture with you.
right. No, and I think that you would have perhaps noticed that kindness.
Right.
I think he's just really well known. And then, like, imagine being asked to have your picture taken,
A
like,
thousand
maybe
times.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 5 days out of 7 days a week. Like, and you might hate it already.
Yeah. And he doesn't seem like a jolly guy to begin with, so it's not
Yeah, I
like
mean, like, he's not an American Top Next model. Like, maybe he's not.
that's
So,
true. All right, but anyway, his book. Let's get back. Let's say, oh, what a
oh, yeah.
sidetrack.
Oh, you're
Choo
so funny.
choo. Okay, 11/22/63 is the name of the book. It is about.
What?
Yep, that's the date that JFK got shot. Um,
Okay,
it is a
wow.
novel about a time traveler who attempts to prevent the assassination of JFK. Also, it was a Hulu miniseries, so you can probably watch it on Hulu as well. Still,
What is that
FY
miniseries called? Drop it in, drop it in.
11/22/63.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go bury my head in the sand real quick.
Just FYI, the lead actor is someone who is not very nice that we find out. What's his name? He was in the interview with Seth Rogen. He was Seth Rogen's buddy for a long time. Um,
Oh, is it the guy who played Manic? He played
uh,
in Manic as the male leading actor.
James Franco.
Let me see.
But
You
so
said June Franco?
James.
Oh, I had the biggest crush on James Franco, and I just think social media shouldn't be for some, and that's all I'll say.
Good call. Social
That's
media.
all I'll
Oh my
say.
God. Uh,
I don't have Facebook.
so anyway, the book is the guy he travels back in time, and he does eventually save JFK. But when he goes back to his normal time, the world's like blown up. It's been nuked. It's been hell on earth because he survived. And I guess spoiler. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I think I just ruined it for you.
You can put a spoiler in the
But I ruined it
caption.
for you.
I
I feel
love a good
bad.
spoiler, so
Okay.
you do not need to take it out. I don't care what anyone else says. Please
Uh,
warn me. I
okay.
have anxiety.
It doesn't end that way though. The book doesn't end with that. Well,
Also, I
the
do like James
miniseries doesn't end with.
Franco's.
You do? Okay. The,
I know. That's all I'll say. I
no,
think he's
you're
a good
fine.
actor.
I mean, some people,
That's it.
you can separate what he's done personally to his acting. Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, we've had that conversation on some of the other shows. So, but yeah, so I don't know about the book. I didn't read the book. I only saw the miniseries. But like the miniseries doesn't doesn't in that way maybe. So, it's not like a huge spoiler, but is it?
I really don't need to delete this part.
It's an interesting twist on like
It's James Franco. We don't need to feel bad about the spoiler, okay?
maybe
That's all.
maybe killing him, maybe killing JFK was the right thing to do. Maybe he would have gotten us to World War III. I don't think that would have happened, but I mean, we don't know. We just don't know.
Isn't that scary? That's what I have anxiety about is the uncertainty and the unknown
Hmm.
and like the what if. I have poetry. I write poetry based off of what if so much and like thank God shout out to my therapist because like
Very
real world.
good poetry, by the way.
Oh, you're really kind. Well, real world is not a what if.
Hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say. And if that sticks with you, it changed my life because what ifs isn't what's happening. And that kind of like was I was a late bloomer with that theory.
Listen, it took me a long time to learn things, so if you can learn that quicker than I can, then good on you.
Yeah, well, it's because like, I think when you take other people's advice, it's hard to do because I
Yeah.
that would have taken me way longer if I had to figure that out on my own.
So there's some good JFK stuff in there too for you guys to watch. Everyone to watch. When I say guys, I don't mean just guys. It's what I say, and I always have to correct myself because I got in trouble one time. But anyway, for everybody to watch. So you have 13 days. You have JFK. You have the podcast to listen to, Who Killed JFK, and if you want like an alternate timeline trying to stop type thing, you have 11 2663.
Oh, what a great lineup, Steven. Also, like I'm gonna go. I want to take a whole Sunday and do all three.
Good
You
luck.
know what? Can I just share one time I
Yeah.
took a whole Sunday with one of my besties. She's not here anymore. Like R.I.P. girl, love you. But we spent all day watching Lord of the Rings extended version,
Oh my
and
God.
dude, there's just you can't repeat a day like that. It was
Yeah.
perfect. We had
Some
homemade bagel bites. Like you can't repeat a day like that.
yeah, some days you just need a day to do that. You need to veg and do, what you love to do with someone you love.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind,
But
people.
those
Life is too
three,
short.
right, and those three, like the three lineup you just gave, I'm like, wow, what a perfect day to just spend all day in bed, binge watch all three, get your good snacks, get some gummy worms.
Gummy
What's your
bears, yep.
favorite candy? What's your favorite candy, Steven?
The fancy gummy bears, I forget what they're called.
The one that's
Yeah,
Albert.
those, yep.
I don't know. I don't know what they're called, but I know what you're talking about. Albanese?
Albertsons?
Albanese?
Hold on.
Albanense. You know what? I've been saying Gavinci wrong, even now. So don't listen to me.
Albanese, Albanese, yeah. I don't know, whatever. The
My
fancy
my
ones.
best friend would listen and cringe, and she would be like, "It's Givenchy."
What's your favorite candy? The gummy worms?
You know what? As a kid, yes, but like what I am as an adult, okay, so like yes, gummy worms as a
Okay.
kid, sure. Teenager, the nerds, rope.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now as an adult, nerds, man. I could eat a whole
Okay.
box of nerds and just crunch on it. Like it's and I'm like, why? Why am I doing
Yeah,
this?
if we're talking like candy like chocolate, I'm doing M&M butter.
Oh,
Peanut butter M&Ms.
yes. Oh, okay. Well, no, I like the peanut M&Ms, not the peanut butter. You like the peanut butter ones?
I like peanut too. Listen, I'm a big guy. I like all candy. I'm not really that picky, but peanut. But I prefer peanut butter M&Ms over peanut, but I will have definitely have peanut.
All right, so what's your favorite? Like when you go to the movies, what's the lineup? What are we snacking on? What's it look like?
It's always popcorn, usually a vanilla Coke, sometimes candy. Sometimes it'll be Bunch of Crunch, and
What is
sometimes it's like Nestle Crunch bars, but like in bunches.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yep.
okay, okay.
Or peanut M&Ms, because
Okay.
that's what they have there. Yeah.
Yep. You know what? I won't lie. Like I was the girl with the big purse and we put all of our canned drinks in. We went to the Dollar Tree, like
I
we got
get
our
it.
popcorn, and I know you don't want to hear that, but like we got our popcorn and I went to the movies often just to be able to, you know, and like we, even I will say when I go to the movies now with my own child, like we go bougie, we get the nachos because she's so
Mm,
picky. So like I'll get anything for her to try. Does she eat any of it? No.
nope.
Am I privileged enough to buy this for her to figure out if she likes certain things? Yes, I
Mm.
recognize it. But like she needs to have her blue raz icy, which I don't recommend for children under 8. They're just not good for
Mm,
you. She always has like tummy problems after she has
yeah.
them.
Always.
Yeah.
If
But
you're going to
then
the movies, though, at least buy popcorn. That's all I ask. That's all I used to tell
yes.
people.
Yeah, no, you got to buy popcorn and it has to be extra large and you
You
have
can
to bring
sneak
the
in
rest
everything
home.
else. Popcorn is like the highest earned off, like the least like money spent on making that item. So
Absolutely. And you know what? I always get popcorn.
yeah, I do too.
Always. And
Uh,
it's good. It's better than any popcorn ever.
do
Like
you?
me and Lorelai try and make popcorn. It's like movie theater popcorn. It's like let's just go to the movies, girl.
I used to tell. I used to. It's just off topic, but I would fight when the red box is a huge thing. I was like, let's put a red box outside the theater so people will come in
Terrible.
and buy the popcorn. They would smell the popcorn.
Oh, they would get the popcorn after getting the red That's genius.
No one believed me, but whatever. Anyway, all right.
You know
What's
what,
up,
Steven? No one ever believes what could be.
geniuses?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, exactly. And weren't you the one that I have some thoughts I could share with you on a different level, but let's just say some changes you've made have improved my quality of life outside of this podcast. And I know you know what I'm talking
I
about.
know exactly what you're talking about. All right. What's the next episode, Scully? You pick. I picked this one.
Well, we could even refer some like X-Files, like we could do some Jurassic Park. Do you guys believe in like bringing back the dinosaurs, right? Like we could probably bring back dinosaurs through like or like I remember reading about it on the BBC about bringing back a woolly mammoth.
I remember reading that too. Is that what you
Yeah,
want to talk
and
about? Is that what you want to
you know
talk about?
what? You know what I want to talk about really real quick
Okay.
with you, which I don't know. We'll have to like maybe, hey guys, surprise episode. Me and Steven are gonna surprise you next time. You're not gonna know what you're gonna get. Ha ha.
Yeah, okay, we can do that too. Go ahead.
But what we're gonna talk about real quick was that there was this one time I want to say, okay,
At
so
band
my
camp?
daughter's exactly.
Go ahead.
No, but there was this one time I read the BBC News. They had brought up that there was this alien life satellite that had kept the sun. Okay, I just want to like say if anyone else has read this article, I can't find it anywhere after reading it. I remember I took pictures of it, but it was a different phone and a different life then it felt. Okay, so I don't have it anymore. I'm sure I don't, but it was about this article of a sun acting as though from afar it had a mass of a new sun. But it was actually a really, really, really old sun, but it didn't make sense. So the only thing that made sense was that there was this like giant, what we called alien structure that was harnessing energy from somewhere else, potentially another star, and putting it into their sun. So that was like theoretically proving that alien life, intelligent alien life existed. That is
Interesting.
an article I want to find again. I was 24 years old, 23. This is 10 years ago almost. I cannot find that article, but it was like
A Dyson sphere?
I don't know. It was in a different, it was like it was light years away,
It could be a Dyson sphere. That's
right?
an Dyson, I think.
What is this? A hypothetical megastructure I can't say it, theorized by physicists. I have to, if I can talk well, it has to be in a voice that's not mine. Like, I'll do it, but I don't know why. So if anyone intelligent knows why, please feel free to let me know. Anyways, a Dyson sphere is a hypothetical megastructure theorized by physicist Freeman Dyson that could theoretically harness all the energy of a star by encompassing it with a large energy collecting structure, potentially indicating an advanced civilization. Wow, Steven, you're so smart. I want to know your IQ, but also, is that what a vampire is? Do I believe in vampires
I
now?
don't think so. I don't think that's what a vampire is.
Yeah, but they're just energy suckers, right? What is that? That's sucking energy. And like, why do I want like I immediately was trying to like Dyson sphere and it wanted to show me the Dyson Airwrap. That's the
Oh, that's
So where
on
did they
you.
get this from? Dyson.
That's your cookies.
So
That's the website you look at. That's not anything else.
Freeman Dyson, who is cause of death, falling. That's oh my God, in 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, and he worked in Princeton Medical Center. Yo, when I gave birth, there was this doctor who came in at like 4 in the morning, and I was like, "Yo, why are you coming in at 4 in the morning and touching my kid?" But like he did, and I was like, "Ah, I'm in a hospital. I'm gonna trust it." Anyways, sometimes I think I had postpartum, and maybe he was a ghost. But all he did was like come in, check her weight, kiss her on the head, and said, "You did a good job," and left. And he was like ancient. He was really old. He had to been like 90.
Interesting.
It was such a weird, and then like it was such a weird experience. Like the other doctor, I don't even want to name him, but like I don't know if this was like a fake name. I'm just gonna say that, but like it's
Okay.
Kegel,
Yeah.
and then that's all. Great doctor, okay, great doctor. You want to know why? When my daughter was born, awesome sauce was what he said. Awesome sauce.
My
And
doctor
then I'm
told
over
me,
here like I probably had postpartum thinking this old doctor who's like 90 kissing my daughter on the head and she was beautiful. She looked angelic. Like I did a good job.
my
I'll say it. Moms, you do a good job.
when
So
Chris
this
was when Chris was
it really
born,
could have been a ghost.
his doctor told me not to say anything because he was purple because the cord wrapped around his neck
Oh, that's so
5 times,
scary.
and he wasn't screaming, he wasn't doing anything, and the doctor like gave me the signal for no talking, like the the hands across the throat. And
Yeah,
then
like shut
obviously
up.
he's fine because he's in there sleeping right now. So, but yeah, that
That's
was
so
my experience.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's fine. He's fine now. He was fine then.
Yeah.
He's a pain in
You
my
know
ass
what?
then. He's a pain in my ass now.
Isn't that crazy? Because, like, I remember when I gave birth, the midwife said that the cord was wrapped around her neck 3 times,
Ooh.
and she came out with a giant cone head. All right, she was really slow to come out. I'll just say that. She definitely came. Her head's not coned now, okay? That's all I know. But she came out real weird, and she was also like almost 3 weeks late. Yeah.
Wow, she did
Yeah.
not want to leave. Okay,
No, she was like eight, like she was supposed to be an Aries, and she came out a Taurus.
let's wrap this up.
Oh yeah, we should. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so this is the way the show's going to be, guys. So either you're on board, get on that train, or don't. I don't know.
Or give us some feedback where we can be
Yeah,
constructive and grow. Because
I,
like I'm gonna ramble, and you can guys let me know if you don't like it.
yeah. If you don't like it, I will cut her off earlier. But I think it's funny, and I like the ramble. So,
It's like don't
because
ruin my
it's
following.
it's a real conversation between a couple of friends. That's all you need to know. So,
Yeah, and Steven's the
um,
best. He
oh,
it was a
stop.
lot of fun.
Okay, Scully. What? How do we just said it? What's our sign off?
Bye,
Bye,
paranormies,
paranormies.
parahomies.
One of the two. Which one do you like? Let us know below.
I'm gonna do both, if
Okay,
they like them or not.
there you go. Done.
And then we're gonna have a song. Are we gonna have like a? Should we have like something like really creepy and happy, or
I'll
should it
have.
have?
I'll find some stuff.
I don't know how I want to go about this. I'm thinking more like X-File vibes. I won't
Okay,
lie.
okay. I'll find something. Don't you worry.
Okay, okay, okay.
We'll pre-prove it. Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.